Hi, Aries. Good morning. So, you guys appeared to have a rough um, relationship from the looks of it from when I did my 1st of November reading. So, let's see what's going on now. See if that's cleared up any. If you guys are talking again, not talking, not ever talking. Four of Wands. That's the twin flame. I don't know. I don't know what I believe about twin flames and soulmates. I was having this conversation with a girlfriend of mine last night. We were trying to decide what the difference between a soulmate and a karmic relationship and a twin flame, and it all appears it's all about pain anyway. There's pain one way you look at it, there's pain the other way. It's all about learning lessons and becoming a better human being. So who cares whether it's a soulmate or a twin flame or a karmic relationship? Sometimes it just hurts. And it's going to keep hurting until we get those lessons learned. So anyway, let's see what's going on. I pre-shuffled and there were cards flying out all over the place. I did not pick them up because I wasn't ready to start doing that while I was shuffling, but it appears that Aries energy is on the move right now. So let's see what's going on. See? There went one flying on the floor. Sometimes I can't get cards out, and sometimes they're just flipping out everywhere. And there's another one. Too many. I'm also going to use my numerology cards today. For some reason, I was being pulled to use those. The last time I used them was when I was out in Scottsdale with my friend, and he was playing with them and laid out some stuff, and it was interesting what came out. All right, Aries, mid-November. I would like to have one more card, please, to see what's going on with the Aries. One more card, please. For November. Okay, so there's 3, 4. Well, we'll take them all. See what's going on. All right. So the 4 of Wands came up, which is a kind of, that's the twin flame relationship card, but that's also a couple card. So maybe you guys have either made up or started talking again. Let's see what came up next. Looks like maybe some communication about some ideas of how to rectify things is what I'm getting here. It's not anything serious yet. It looks like maybe you guys, I'm not going to say you've made up, but maybe you have started communicating some and maybe are in the process of trying to make up or something. And the Empress is... So this is what I'm getting the feeling of, is the Empress is sitting here and she's like, you know what? I hold all the cards in this situation. So if you want to come and talk to me, you need to do it right. I'm not playing games with you. I mean, look at her. She looks like she's got it all going on right now. So whatever the case is if you are a female watching this and you felt like you didn't have any control in this relationship in the past, it certainly feels like you have got some control now. You know where you're at, you know where your mind's at, you know what you want, you know what you're not putting up with, and you're kind of like, dude, come to me correct or don't come at all. And temperance came up, so it looks like you're trying to balance some stuff. I feel like this is a case of you're trying to balance some work stuff. Maybe this whole drama with the love had you kind of off balance and not able to focus on work or whatever. So it feels like you're trying to work on some balance stuff. Then I had 4 cards that came out. So, um, Seven of Swords is someone that's trying to sneak away. So I don't know. It kind of feels like somebody's still trying to get away with something. Maybe that's why you haven't made a full recovery in this relationship, is because somebody is not still coming up with the full truth and still thinking they're going to get away with something. You know better. It's not going to happen. And the Queen of Wands came up right after that. So, of course, she's still sitting there and she's like, you know what? You can try whatever you want to try with me, but it's not going to work. I am in charge and you're not pulling any crap on me anymore. So, I feel like it's kind of like you can go back out in the desert for all I care. I'm fine where I'm at. And then this came up in reverse. So that's the Two of Cups, which is kind of the Lover's card. So it's not happened yet. I mean, your relationship is maybe on the rebound a little bit. And Ace of Pentacles came up along with that. So there could be some new beginnings on the way. It hasn't happened yet, but it does feel like there's some communication that's come in, but it still feels like somebody's trying to get away with something and not come clean about whatever you guys got in your fight about. So I'm going to do the numerology cards now. And see what these have to say and see if I can get any verification of what's going on currently. Maybe if I can get some blockages of what's the hold up here. Why is this other person still not ready to come clean on their actions and their communication? God, man. Cards are just flying everywhere today. I guess that's good. Oh, there's 2. Okay, there's 3. Let's do 4 or 5 here. One more numerology card, please. Or not. Let's take that one. All right. So 2 flew out on the floor. Well, they're all okay. So let me think about this. 4 out of 5 came up in the reverse position. I don't usually use these cards, so do I want to, how do I want to read these? All right. The first one that came up in reverse, I guess because it's not, it could go either way. If it's not upright and was in the reverse position, it still feels like somebody is still healing. Regardless, you're not healed yet or someone is healing. Regardless, there's some healing going on and taking place for one or both of you. Probably both of you, if that is to be honest. I mean, you can't have a relationship that maybe got destroyed or went through a breakup and not have both sides of the parties needing to heal from that. So this came up in reverse, and I can't even imagine in my mind that physical activity would not ever be a good thing in any kind of situation. So I'm going to say that one probably needs to be left in the upright. or needs to be in the upright position, because physical activity is going to raise your vibrations. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to help the depression. If either of you are in depression over this whole thing, regardless of it's you or if it's the other person, physical activity can help get you through. Okay. Something like I'm getting like electricity like going through this hand all of a sudden. That's weird. I've never had that before. I'm like, are they trying to tell me something? What? Physical activity. I walked yesterday. They're not talking to me. I've walked 3 times this week. So sorry, my bra strap's hanging out. So physical activity. Make sure you're doing that. Get outside, ground yourself, and take it 24 hours at a time. You never know what's around the corner. You never know. It appears that the universe is doing some healing of people right now. Spontaneous healing, spontaneous releasing of emotions and everything. So I guess the good news is whoever your counterpart has some help from their guides, and they're not having to do it all on their own. And this goes along with the healing. It's like forgiveness, whether it's upside down or not. There's some forgiveness that needs to happen, or it's still there's unforgiveness on one or both counterparts. I definitely feel like healing and forgiveness both come into that arena, whether it's forgiving yourself or forgiving the other person or a situation. Someone still hasn't let go of something, which probably means the heart chakra needs to be worked on. And self-discipline, although that came up in the reverse position too, I can't ever imagine that you would have directions to not be self-disciplined. When I saw that, it made me think of like the devil card in the tarot, which is usually some sort of obsessions or addictive behavior. So I feel like that is saying that someone has some sort of addictive behavior that perhaps was part of the reason why this maybe didn't work out, whether it was alcohol or drugs or shopping or eating or obsessive thinking or any kind of unhealthy behaviors. One or both of you need to work on some self-discipline things. I need to take a look at that and work on some of my own self-discipline. So, but the good news is at the end of it, it says happy endings. Happy endings. So somebody's going to get a happy ending. Whether you two come together or whether you move apart and after healing, you end up with your happy ending, it doesn't really matter. That's the whole thing, is everybody wants the happy ending. And I don't know that anybody cares who the happy ending is with, as long as they get it. And if you come together with one person and all that relationship was about healing and making yourself a better person and making you able to be better for the next person that comes along, then who cares? Yeah, it's painful while you're going through it, but that's part of the game. You know, that's why we all came down here, was to learn lessons. In case you haven't heard that, you volunteered for this. I know, we don't like being reminded of that when we're going through pain. I want to see what kind of emotions we're dealing with. I mean, I think it's fairly clear, but maybe not. What kind of emotions are Aries currently working on that maybe they need to release, let go of? And if any of them match up with this, with the numerology cards, then I would definitely say that's an issue. I already shuffled these once. I don't know why I'm shuffling them again. All right. That one popped out. That one says happy. So that's good. It sounds like you're on the mend, because last last month, at the beginning of the month, you guys were in a bad spot with a broken heart and no communication. So, or whatever. Okay, so this one was resentful in the reverse position. So it sounds like you're getting over whatever happened. All right. So you're still working with disappointment, which is understandable. I mean, if you really had all of your eggs in one basket and this particular person was the one that floated your boat and it suddenly didn't work out, you guys stopped communicating, I can see why you would still have disappointment around that. I think that's where going for a walk would come in handy. It's going to raise your vibrations. It's going to make you feel better. And someone's being resistant. So I feel like this is a resistant about the healing, resistant about the forgiveness, resistant about the self-discipline. So you may know in your heart the stuff that you need to do to make yourself better, to help with the healing, but for whatever reason you're being resistant, because you're feeling discouraged at the same time. So I can't make you do the work. You can't expect the healing to just take place and not really put any effort into it. So if you're just sitting there truly waiting on the universe to just magically plop something in your lap, it's probably not going to happen. I mean, occasionally that does. The universe did plop a new friend in my life from my YouTube channel, and that was unexpected, but that doesn't happen very often. So, figure out what you need to heal, figure out what needs to happen. I'm a big fan of journaling. You know, it's like if you're feeling out of whack and discontent and angry, write it out. Figure out deep down inside why you are angry. Who are you mad at? Are you mad at the other person? Are you mad at yourself because maybe there were some red flags you missed? Are you mad at your parents? Are you mad because you hate your job? Are you mad because you hate your neighbors and where you live? Figure out what the angst is coming from, where the angst is coming from, and then figure out how to correct that. Because until you correct that core inner anger and wound, it's like an infection that's going to be inside of you forever. And it's not ever going to go away. It's just going to fester. And it may go down, but it's going to crop back up. So you need to figure out what that anger is all about. Same thing with depression. You know, why are you depressed? If you're depressed on a regular basis, if you can't communicate, why are you afraid of communicating? Usually it is because you're afraid somebody's going to leave you. You're afraid that if you speak your mind, if you're who you say you are, that they're not going to like what you say and they're going to leave. That's fear of abandonment. You know, maybe when you were a kid, when you spoke your mind, your parents were always telling you to be quiet and they didn't want to hear what you had to say and they didn't validate who you were as a person. Figure out what those core wounds are. And when you can clear those core wounds up, one, you're not gonna get in those fights with your significant other. You're not gonna be mad when they say something and you take it personally because you've cleared that crap up inside of you. So anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. I can go on all day about core wounds. I've been working on mine for a long, long time. I think I've got a lot of them gone. I hope. I'm going to do one last thing. I'm running out of space here. And I'm going to do the whispers of healing because they always have something good to say about things that you can do to make the situation better, make your life better, make you feel better. So, universe, tell me what Aries can do right now to make their situation better, especially if they're barely communicating with the other side, because you know you can't control the other person. The only person you can control is yourself and your reactions. So the healing all starts with you. So what does the universe have to tell you about this? Dang. All right. I'll take them all. Release. Okay. We already talked about that. Release those core issues that are bothering you. Release the blame on your parents. Release the blame on, whoever you think has caused this. Release being a victim. Blaming everybody else in the world can cause a lot of problems for yourself. So if you have that tendency to think that you aren't responsible for anything, and it's your fault and your fault and your fault that this happened to me, you are so full of shit. So you're gonna run into a lot of problems. I got blamed for something last year for something that I didn't do, and I'm like, fuck it, dude, you're out of your mind if you think that was my fault. I ain't even gonna go there. Anyway, forward movement. You are making forward movement from where you were in the beginning of the month, so keep going. Replenish whatever you need to replenish. I think for the thing that came along with that was replenish self-esteem, because I think your self-esteem got hit hard with this whole heartbreak and lack of communication with this other person. So you need to not take that whole thing personally. If the other person is not healed the way they need to be healed, you guys didn't have a chance in the first place. So you need to back things up and realize that you just need to take care of yourself. It's all I can think of. And there's always hidden blessings. Remember when I said everybody wants a happy ending, regardless if it was this person or another person that's come along. And if the hidden blessings are that this person that caused you all of this grief and trauma was the one that actually brought all the stuff to the surface, you were able to heal that, and then you move on to the next person and you don't have all of this trauma inside of you that's coming up in the relationship, then that was a hidden blessing. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of pain in the middle of it, but and just get clear. Get clear on your intentions. Get clear on what kind of a person that you want to have in your life. Sorry, I'm kind of hoarse today. Get clear on the kind of person you want. Get clear on the kind of person you want to be. Get clear on the kind of relationship that you want to have. Get clear on the kind of communication that you want in this relationship. Write it out. Make sure you know what you want. And be clear on that. And so when you meet somebody, or if this other person comes back in and they're not, if you've got this list of I want this, I want this, I want this, and they're coming in and they're checking off 2 check marks, and you've got 10 of the kind of relationship that you desire, don't try to fit a square peg into a round hole. Somewhere out there, there's somebody that's going to check off all 10 spots. So get clear on what you want. That's all I can say. Anyway, I will see you guys the 1st of December. Holy cow. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving wherever you're at. And if you have any comments on this video, I would love to hear them. What's the word I'm looking for? Constructive criticism. If you want a reading, all the information is in the description of below of what I do and my email address and everything. And we can get some stuff cleared up for you if you want. Anyway, I will see you guys later. Thanks. Bye.